So let's kind of start off with the history.
So where does it start from? Mr. Taibi Kahler, I met him yesterday in a webinar. He's now, I think, 81 years old.
Wow.
And he developed this model. So
he's a psychologist.
He's a clinical. Was a clinical psychologist, and what he detected are the so-called drivers from transactional analysis. Be perfect. So now I'm missing it. Be perfect. Be strong. Hurry up, and things like that. So what did he detect? He observed his patients on a videotapes, and what he detected are specific patterns of communication, meaning a specific combination of words, tones, gestures, facial expressions that shows you that the person within the next 2 or 3 seconds is going to be in a non-okay behavior.
Okay.
So what he detected is a specific complex of behavior, verbal and non-verbal, that shows you that within the next moments, this person is going to be in a negative situation. So he can predict distress.
Okay. Uwe, one of the reasons we invited you, although we've already done some effort in the direction of personality traits and assessment, and we might do some in the future, what's kind of stuck out about PCM is that I thought it was a more pragmatic approach to it. So most of these other personality types are all based on the Big Five model. Let me just remind you, we did this last time, which is based on personality traits, which is agreeableness, openness to experience, neuroticism, conscientiousness, and extroversion. So these are basically almost all personality trait tests are based on some variation of what's called the Big Five. Now, what I liked about PCM is I thought PCM is not a classical personality trait. It goes further. It's more pragmatic. It's more about a tool that I can use on a daily basis. And we're going to be looking at a bunch of different examples. So what I liked about it is PCM was one of the few that goes into the psychological trait analysis that is not based on the Big Five and is more pragmatic. So let's talk a little bit about the history of PCM.
So how it started was Dr. Taibi Kahler, he's a clinical psychologist. He detected the so-called drivers in transactional analysis. Some of you may heard them: be strong, please you, try hard, hurry up, and be perfect, for instance. What is this, a driver? He observed his patients in clinical treatment situations. So he videotaped them and had a look at the videotapes. And what he detected and scientifically proved that there are unique combinations of words, tones, gestures, postures, and facial expressions that people show for 2 or 3 seconds before they are going to be in a non-okay behavior.
Is this like a micro-expressions?
Yeah, it's a little bit longer than a micro-expression. Micro-expressions are shorter and only visible in the face. But the analogy is quite good because you can use it. So if you observe this, you can see, for instance, a specific situation like when I asked you the question, so what exactly, and I'm pointing out what you said after the meeting yesterday, is the reason why. Okay. So when I do it like this, I exactly know this was a be perfect driver for you, so you have to be perfect for me. What I know is if you're not getting the correct connection, the right communication with me now, you will get some sort of preaches, you will see my conviction, and I will wear some sort of an attacker mask to you because you have the wrong values. So this is a de-stress.
So what you're saying, it's a great mechanism to predict behavior in others.
Behavior and de-stress. So with PCM, you can predict.
When you say de-stress, which means you're trying to de-escalate the situation.
No, de-stress, sorry, meaning that is the negative side of your personality. So you show your character strength in the negative way. Okay. So for instance, if you are a person who is quite logical.
The person who's communicating is de-stressing or
I'm in a de-stressed inner mood, I would say.
Okay.
So I expect you, for instance, to be perfect and give me the right answer.
Okay.
And if you're not doing it, I'm going to really tell you and preach it to you. I will make a crusade.
Okay. I'm the classical DAO, the dumbest assumed user, in all of my podcasts. So can we go back to those 5 different points and can you give us a concrete example of what you mean with them? So what do you mean with this is part of everybody's personality trait that they want to be strong? Is it kind of the outward show that I'm sovereign, that I'm in control? Is that what be strong means?
No, be strong is an inner attitude that can be seen outside with these 5 cues.
Okay.
So, for instance, if somebody shows this be strong driver, it'd say, you know what? You're sitting here, listen to all the stuff and nothing happens.
Okay.
So then you know, oh, this person right now is showing the be strong driver and wanting other to do something.
So it's kind of a pushy communication model where I'm asking you to change your behavior. That's an example of be strong.
This was one example.
Okay.
And if you're trained in this and interpreting what you recognize as a communication, then you know which part of the personality this person is activating and which process of non-okay behavior will follow.
Okay.
So you can predict this.
Okay.
So now the distinction between other models is quite aware because you are observing communication and that's why it's called communication model.
Okay.
And if you see this kind of combination of words, tones, gestures, postures, facial expressions, then you know this part of the personality is activated. So you have a personality model and you have a communication model.
Okay.
Because you cannot communicate without personality.
Okay.